Hello children, good morning. Welcome to the geography class of ISC class 12th. Today we will continue chapter 4 drainage. Today we will study from page number 52 to page number 54. In the last class, that is on day 3, we have studied about the peninsular rivers flowing towards east and falling in the Bay Bengal. They are river Mahanadi, river Godavari, river Krishna, river Kaveri, river Subarnarekha and river Brahmani. Let us see the objectives of today's class. Today we will study about the peninsular rivers flowing in the Arabian Sea, that are river Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati and river Mahi, rivers joining river Ganga and Yamuna from peninsular plateau. They are river Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Son and Kain. And at last we will study the differences between the Himalayan and the peninsular river systems. Children, let us start today's topic. First of all, I am going to ask you a few questions. Hope that you will be knowing the answers of all these questions. Question number 1. What do you mean by a gorge? Name the deepest gorge in the world. Question number 2. Name some rivers of peninsular India. Question number 3. What is a delta? Name some rivers of South India that form deltas. Question number 4. What do you mean by an estuary? Name some rivers of India that form estuaries. And the last question is, name any 2 rivers of South India that flow towards west and fall in the Arabian Sea. So hope that you are knowing all the answers of the questions which I have asked, as they were already studied in the previous 3 videos. Now children, let us start today's class. Today we will study first of all about the rivers flowing in the Arabian Sea. The first river we are going to study is river Narmada. The Narmada river rises near Amarkantak plateau in Madhya Pradesh. It flows westwards for a distance of 1300 kilometers and finally it empties itself in the Arabian Sea below Bauch. The drainage basins extend over 98,796 square kilometer and is confined mostly to Madhya Pradesh. Only 1/10 of Narmada basin lies in Gujarat. The picturesque gorge of Narmada in the marble rocks near Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh is quite well known. Another feature of the Narmada basin is the lack of development of the tributary streams. The second river which we are going to study today is river Tapi. The Tapi rises in the Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. It flows westwards for about 724 kilometers in a trough basin more or less parallel to river Narmada. It is, however, much smaller both in terms of channel length and in terms of catchment area. The basin area of Tapi river extends over 65,145 square kilometer in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. The Tapi is joined by the Purna, Vighar, Girna, Bori and the Panjra on the left bank and by Aner on the right bank. Next, let's study about the Sabarmati and the Mahi. The northwestern flank of the plateau is drained by the Sabarmati and the Mahi river. The Sabarmati rises in the Aravalli hills and flows southwestwards for a distance of 300 kilometers to join Arabian Sea. The Sabarmati basin extends over an area of 21,674 square kilometer in Rajasthan and Gujarat. The Mahi rises in the east of Udaipur and drains an area of 34,842 square kilometer lying in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat. It flows southwestwards for a distance of 533 kilometer before it falls into the Gulf of Khambat. Now we will study about River Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken and Son. All these rivers starts from Peninsular Plateau and they join river Ganga or Yamuna in the north. These rivers originate from the northern flank of the Peninsular Plateau and join the Ganga river system in the northern plain. The Chambal rises near Maho in the Vindhya range and flows towards the north, generally in a gorge up to Kota. Below Kota, it turns to the northeast direction and after reaching Pinahat, it turns to the east and runs nearly parallel to Yamuna before joining it in the southern part of the Etawah district of Uttar Pradesh. River Chambal flows much below its bank due to severe erosion because of poor rainfall and numerous deep ravines have been formed in the Chambal valley, giving rise to badlands or badland topography. As I have discussed that badland topography or badlands mean any erosion landscape where a maze of ravines, that are small rivers and valleys, dissects means cut the plateau surfaces. River Chambal is 1050 km long. The Sindh, the Betwa and the Ken flowing towards the north have also cut deep gorges at some places and like the Chambal have carved out numerous ravines in the alluvial plain of Ganga. River Son originates from Amarkantak Plateau of Madhya Pradesh. After flowing for some distance to the north, it meets the Kaimur range which turns its course towards the northeast. Almost all its tributaries join it on its right bank. It merges into the Ganga near Ramnagar. River Son is 780 km long. Now children, let us see the basin area covered by the peninsular rivers flowing towards Arabian Sea. River Narmada has basin area of about 98,786 square kilometer. River Tapi has 65,145 square kilometer of basin area in India. River Mahi has 34,842 square kilometer basin area. The Son river has an area of 65,110 square kilometer, whereas river Sabarmati has 21,674 square kilometer of basin area in India. Now, at last, we will study about the differences between the Himalayan and the peninsular river systems. The Himalayan rivers are quite different from the rivers of peninsular India from the point of view of the drainage features and hydrological characteristics. So, let us see the points of differences. Some of the longest rivers belong to the Himalayan river system, whereas the peninsular rivers are not as long as Himalayan rivers. The catchment areas and basins of the Himalayan rivers are very large. The catchment areas and basins of peninsular rivers are comparatively small in size. Himalayan rivers are larger in number. Peninsular rivers are small in number. Number 4. The Himalayan rivers originate from the snow-covered areas and receive water from rainfall as well as from melting snow. Therefore, they are perennial, means they have water throughout the year. Whereas the peninsular rivers depend entirely on rain water and are seasonal, means they dry up in the dry season. Number 5. Himalayan rivers form deep gorges, whereas the peninsular rivers flow in shallow valleys. Number 6. The Himalayan rivers form river meanders and often change their course, whereas the peninsular rivers flow more or less in straight course and do not change their course. Number 7. The Himalayan rivers are useful for irrigation and navigation, whereas the rivers of Peninsular Plateau are not much suited for irrigation and navigation. The rivers of Himalayas flow across the young fold mountains and are still in a youthful stage, whereas the rivers of Peninsular Plateau have been flowing in one of the oldest plateaus of the world and have reached their maturity. Number 9. The rivers of Himalayas represent antecedent drainage, means they do not change their course due to the physical features, whereas the rivers of Peninsular Plateau represent consequent drainage, means they have changed their course after their birth and are the result of the physical feature or topography. The last point of difference is that the Himalayan rivers form big deltas. The Ganga-Brahmaputra delta, that is the Sundarban delta, is the largest delta in the world, whereas the peninsular rivers form small deltas. Narmada and Tapi form estuaries in place of deltas at their mouth. Now children, with this we come to the end of today's class. Now let us go through the objectives we have studied in today's class. Today we have studied the peninsular rivers. The rivers flowing in the Arabian Sea, they are Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati and Mahi. Rivers joining river Ganga and Yamuna from Peninsular Plateau, they are river Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Son and Kain. And at last we have studied about the differences between the Himalayan and the peninsular river systems. At the end of the chapter, we will see all the objectives we have done on day 1. The objectives we have covered were evolution of Indian river system, evolution of Himalayan rivers, the Indo-Brahm theory, evolution of the peninsular rivers. Then we discussed the drainage system of India, sources and mouth of river Indus and its tributaries. They are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas and Satluj. On second day, we studied the drainage systems of India, sources and mouths of rivers Ganga, Yamuna, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi and the Brahmaputra river system. On day 3, we have studied the peninsular rivers, rivers that flow in the Bay Bengal, which are river Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Subarnarekha and Brahmani. On day 4, means today, we have discussed the peninsular rivers, rivers flowing in the Arabian Sea, Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati and Mahi. We also studied the rivers joining river Ganga and Yamuna from Peninsular Plateau, which are river Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Son and Kain, and difference between the Himalayan and the peninsular river systems. Now it's a time for you to take your homework. You have to write a few answers in your copy. I will read the questions for you. The first question is, name the peninsular rivers flowing in the Arabian Sea. Question number 2, describe the main features of the rivers flowing in the Arabian Sea. Number 3, differentiate between the Himalayan river systems and the peninsular river systems. Number 4, on an outline map of India, mark and label river Narmada, river Tapi, So, Sabarmati, Mahi, Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Son and river Ken. Describe the source, course and mouth of river Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati, Mahi, Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Son and Ken. Children, you also have to mark and learn the question answers given in exercise 1 and 2 on page number 54 and 56. Question number 1. Write short note on river Narmada. Question number 2. Why do the rivers on western coast have no deltas even though they transport lot of sediments with them? Question number 9. Give the salient features of the rivers of peninsular India. Question number 10. Explain why there is a large number of deltas on the eastern coast of India while its western coast is without even single major delta. Exercise number 2, question number 2. Bring out clearly the differences in the drainage features and hydrological characteristics between the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. Support your answer with suitable examples or compare and contrast the Himalayan rivers with the peninsular rivers. You must read the chapter from page number 46 to page number 54. You must see the school YouTube link given to you. Hope that you have understood the chapter properly. We will very soon meet in a new video with a new topic. Till then, keep exploring, be safe, be happy. Thank you.